what you need for this zesty Italian pasta salad. There we have it. Good morning and welcome back to another video. Today is Monday, so y'all know what that means. I normally grab all my groceries on Monday for the entire week, so that's what we're doing this morning. Is we're headed out to do a few different grocery pickups, and then I'm also making a new pasta salad dish, and so I'm planning on making that today. So I'm going to show you that recipe, and then we're just gonna have a little day at home. I've got a work call at 1:30, so let's go get all of our little errands done. Let's go to all the spots, and then I'll come home and do my grocery haul. Okay, stop number one, Target. So at first I ordered one order of just some printer paper. Super exciting, I know. But I literally needed to print out a new content calendar for the month of July. And then what I forgot for my Kroger order was nail polish remover. And then Target was having some sort of nail discount thing where if you got 2 items that were nail related, you got like some money off. So I got this little nail file, which I actually do need. So I was like, easy. I'll buy 2 cheap items that are only like $3 combined and then get money off because it was like a buy 2, I don't know, nail thing that they got going on. So that's all I got from Target, but I do have an urge to go into Target. As you can imagine, I'm sure everyone knows that urge, but specifically I want to look at their sunglasses. I'm not going to buy anything extra, no matter how cute it is, but I specifically want to go in for sunglasses because I have 2 pairs of sunglasses, literally only 2. The issue is I have my black ones. They're from Amazon, but they do kind of pinch like my head, like behind my ears kind of, and can give you that like headache kind of. And then I have some aviators, but they're too big. So I have a pair that's like too small and gives me headaches, and then I have a pair that barely can like fit on my ears, and whenever I'm wearing them at the pool, they just start to like, they slide off of my nose so quickly, like they don't really fit my face well. So anyways, I've been kind of wanting some sunglasses that actually fit my face, but more specifically, I kind of have been loving the little sunglasses trend. I know it's not really a trend anymore, it's kind of just staple at this point. I'm very aware of that. I'm very late to anything trendy, but in Europe I was like, that might be fun to have like some really cute sunglasses. They're a little bit more on trend right now, and I feel like I could rock them, and I've got a lot of cute outfits planned for Greece and the south of France. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna see what they have, see if I can find any of these, and then we'll go pick up our Kroger order. Of the sunglasses, there were 2 pairs that I feel like did fit my face well and did look nice on me, but then so many of the other ones that are really trendy that I've seen on other people, no, like the little black metal looking ones, I feel like I'm in the Matrix, but I feel that about everybody, that I'm like, you're one of those people in the Matrix with like those little beady-eyed tiny little sunglasses, and they look really cute and fashionable on so many people, but like it's not me. But I'm not really like a frivolous shopper. Like I am not the type of person to just go in, see something and buy it, because like Ryan and I, we budget a lot, and so normally like a bunch of shopping is not in the budget, and we're saving for a house right now, so it's kind of like I have sunglasses and they do just fine. So it's not like a need, obviously. Sunglasses is just something fun, and when you're budgeting, you don't have time for fun. I'm just kidding, don't say that. But anyways, let's go to Kroger because I am a little bit late for my pickup order, so we need to go get all of our groceries. All right, we are back. So I've laid everything out. I'm I'm gonna show you what I got. I'm actually looking at it and I'm like, dang, this was like a really small grocery haul, but because I only did 2 meals, normally I do 3, sometimes 4 if the serving sizes are small, but both of these recipes I think have a bit bigger of a serving size and they last us a little bit longer, which I think is why I only went with 2 dinners. But what we're gonna be having is I'm gonna make chicken tenders tonight, so my homemade gluten-free, dairy-free chicken tenders. And then I'm gonna do a side pasta salad with that instead of my normal salad with like my homemade ranch dressing that I've made a few times on here. And then I'm also doing taco bowls. So taco bowls normally last us a while, so I wanted to add on those. And then I got a few things for breakfast burrito bowls, essentially. So like a little breakfast scramble bowl that I made in my last vlog, I believe. So let me show you everything that I got. All right, chicken tenders already like sliced up. I got some more Italian sausage for my little breakfast bowls. Got some eggs. I actually forgot about this. I grabbed some of these in case we did in fact kind of run out of some protein by the end of the week. So just grabbed some of these little sausage links just in case we want to cook these up with like some side veggies or even maybe leftover pasta salad. 2 things of ground beef for taco bowls. I got another sponge, needed a new one. I stocked up on a lot of things, so I got a really large thing of maple syrup, red wine vinegar, avocado oil, some mayonnaise. These, the pepperoncini peppers and Kalamata olives go in the pasta salad. I got this gluten-free pasta for the pasta salad, tomatoes for taco salad, avocados for taco salad. I got this shallot and these little mini sweet peppers, and I believe the spinach and maybe even the tomatoes. And then these chickpeas, they're all going in this pasta salad that I'm making tonight. I also got this dairy-free Parmesan for the pasta salad. And then I did get Ryan some of his own mozzarella to add into the pasta salad so he can just add it to his specific portion. And then I know I showed you guys these, I think in my last video, or maybe my second to last video when we got back from the beach. And I originally said like, oh, I probably wouldn't ever really get these again for just snacking purposes. But this pasta salad does call for like some mozzarella. Well, like technically it's optional, but I feel like it'd be delicious. And I was like, actually, these are a really, really good consistency for something like that. So I'm actually gonna put these in my portion of pasta salad. And then I got some black beans and taco seasoning for taco bowls. I got some more breadcrumbs for the coating of chicken tenders. Got some chicken sausage for breakfast. Got my favorite Forager sour cream for taco salad. And then while I was at Sprouts, I just started kind of craving some yogurt. I've never tried this one. They're strawberry. I've gotten the Forager brand itself, obviously, but never tried their little strawberry one. So I got some of this. I got one of Cocoa Junes, their mixed berry. I've had this before, it's really good. And I've had the cinnamon, the vanilla cinnamon protein one before. And it's really yummy. I think I'm actually about to crack this open and eat this. But yeah, this is my little haul. I feel like it does feel smaller, but it's only because these dinner options do give me more servings. So there we have it. There's nothing more satisfying than swapping out the Scrub Daddies or just any sponge in general. Our old one is struggling. I also think Heidi's a little sick, which is sad. I think she's a little under the weather. Okay, I didn't realize it was almost lunchtime, but I guess that makes sense because I was a little late picking up my grocery order and I went into Target. But I think I'm gonna eat this little Cocoa June protein yogurt and then prep for my client call in like an hour and a half. Also, I am trying to seem upbeat in this video, but my allergies are hitting that stage in the summer. I'm pretty sure every July, specifically, July in Dallas does not mesh well with my asthma and my allergies. And I am not someone who gets allergies with like watery eyes, itchy nose, itchy throat, none of that. I get asthma. Always asthma, which sucks because then I'm always like out of breath. So I'll be like talking to the camera and then I'll literally have to pause and like breathe for a second because I always feel out of breath when my asthma is irritating me. But I'm pretty sure since moving to Dallas, I have figured out that every July, my asthma kicks in for like at least a week or 2. I don't know what blooms here in Dallas specifically in July, but when we moved here, we moved in July, and right after we moved, I was like, oh my gosh, my asthma was like trash for a few weeks right after we moved in like 2023. And then last summer, I noticed it again in July, and then it's July now. And it's like every year I'm like, oh wait, yeah, it's July. And I think that there's some correlation there. So if that comes across, my apologies. I'm trying to go about my day like normal, but just a reminder that no one's life is perfect and social media can sometimes hide things, which we all know, but even a nutritional therapist has their issues. Okay, I'm gonna go sit, finish my yogurt. Okay, I just finished up with a client call. So it's now 2 p.m. and I am going to do a little cleanup, a little tidy. Our kitchen needs some help. Our living room needs to be picked up a little bit too. So let's do a little pickup, a little house pickup. Let's tidy up a bit before I'm gonna clean the kitchen before I messy it up again. Okay, now that the kitchen is fresh and clean again, I say it's time to make our pasta salad. So I pulled this recipe straight off of Pinterest, so I will link the Pinterest recipe below, but I'm substituting like regular pasta for gluten-free pasta, and then I'm going to use little Baby Bell mozzarellas to cut up some little mozzarella chunks, and then use the Violife dairy-free Parmesan. And I think those are like the only substitutions I'm making, but I got everything else that the recipe calls for. What you need for this zesty Italian pasta salad is 1 pound of fusilli pasta. I don't know if that's how you say it. So I just got this Jovial gluten-free, this one. This calls for 1 can of chickpeas, but I love chickpeas, so I'm gonna do 2. You need a pint of cherry tomatoes. It says a cup of thinly sliced mini sweet peppers, which are these guys. So only a cup, not this whole bag. You need 3/4 a cup of sliced pepperoncini peppers. I love pepperoncini peppers, so when I saw this in the recipe, I was like, heck yeah, this is gonna be so good. And then you need 3/4 cup of Kalamata olives as well. Ryan doesn't like these, so I'm not gonna put them on everything, but I will sprinkle them on just mine. And then you need a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Again, I'm using this Violife one. And then it says 3/4 cup of small cubed provolone or mozzarella cheese. I'm going to be using these dairy-free Baby Bells. And then it says 2 to 3 cups of some baby spinach. And then we're going to make like an Italian dressing. So for that, you need 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil and 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And then you're gonna do 2 tablespoons of the pepperoncini brine. Some of this juice you're going to use in the dressing. 3 tablespoons of minced shallot, 2 garlic cloves, and then 2 teaspoons of dried oregano and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. And then it just says some salt and pepper. So 3/4 a teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. So that's all the dressing ingredients. So that's everything you need. The instructions do say that while the pasta's cooking, go ahead and make the dressing, and then just to let it sit while you chop up everything else. And I'm honestly probably gonna take my chopping board to the TV area, to the living room, and watch something while I like dice all of these different ingredients. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is a good looking pasta salad, if I do say so myself. Can't wait to dive into this later. Although I did sneak a little taste of the dressing, and I literally was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So I like dipped my spoon in the dressing And then I like scooped up a thing of just chickpeas. I had drained the chickpeas, but I hadn't like chopped up all the other ingredients, so all I had was chickpeas and the dressing. And I just went ahead and ate a few spoonfuls of just straight up chickpeas and the Italian dressing. And I was like, dude, I could eat just this and be happy. It was so yummy. So I'm very excited. Okay. If you haven't seen me make my chicken tenders, I have a whole video on them, which I will link. So we need 3 eggs, 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and 6 tablespoons of the gluten-free flour to make the wet batter, 3 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 3/4 teaspoon garlic powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of onion powder are all gonna go in this wet mixture. And then in a different container, you're just gonna do breadcrumbs and only breadcrumbs. And then once the chicken is in the fryer, you're gonna cook them for 6 minutes on each side or until their internal temperature is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get started on making our chicken tenders. Ready, but I am gonna share a little hack that I have shared once before in another video, and I think I was like, oh, I don't know if I would do this all the time, but then the difference between the chicken tenders that still have this little piece in it versus the chicken tenders that I removed this little like tendon from, this thing is extremely chewy. I just didn't eat like the very end piece of the chicken tender, but let me show you what I do with them. Okay, so you just need a fork and then something dry like a paper towel. You're going to grab the little like tendon part and just slide it in between like one of the sets of prongs on the fork. Grab your paper towel or just something dry. Use that to grab this little like tendon thing. And then you push the fork away. So previously I had mentioned like it kind of does tear the chicken tender, but at the end of the day, I don't mind that because I'd rather get this part of it out because it's just kind of like chewy when you eat it. And I prefer the chicken tenders without it. So I'm just gonna go through all of these. Doesn't take long, really easy step. All right, the chicken's ready. So I normally just line it up like this because you're gonna take the chicken, go wet batter, dip it in breadcrumbs, it goes straight into the oil. And I have got my oil just right on medium, but I've let this be heating up ever since I started making the wet batter. So this should be ready and hot by now, but just as a way to check, I just dip a little bit of the wet batter. And that's what you want. You do want to see it bubble like that, so it is hot enough, it's ready to go. Alrighty, our chicken tenders are done. They look so yummy. I'm so glad that I have found this recipe and branched out with learning to like fry food because I've done fried chicken, I've done some fried pickles, and I've done fried okra. I haven't fully mastered fried pickles and fried okra, but I have mastered this fried chicken. It's so good and it's so easy. So I will link the little recipe PDF that I have made for this. So I'll link that below, and then I'll also link the pasta salad recipe below as well. But chicken is done. Alrighty, here's my lovely plate. I added the olives to mine and my Parmesan and my, like, the Baby Bell dairy-free cheese. I'm gonna grab some Chick-fil-A sauce to go with my chicken tenders, and then we're gonna have dinner. All right, well, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.